Hey everyone, I hope you're well. Today I have 27 tips for Apex Legends Season 6 to share with you all. Now, whether you're a new player or a veteran at Apex, hopefully you'll learn something from this video. So we'll jump straight into the tips and hopefully by the end, you'll be ready to take on Season 6 with a bunch of new knowledge. So to begin with the new crafting system, you can craft the ammo you are holding. Unlike the other items, the ammo type isn't on rotation. It's always just based on the ammo you're holding. This means if you want to save crafting metals you don't have much, you can drop the weapon you don't want ammo for, and then it'll only cost 5 crafting points to get a stack of the ammo for the weapon you're holding. Now if you pick up 2 of the same ammo type, then you'll get 2 stacks of that ammo. It can be a very efficient way to get ammo, so definitely keep an eye out for those crafting areas so that if you are running low on ammo, you will always have a backup plan. Another thing that is permanent in the crafting stations is the ability to upgrade your armor for 100 Evo points. It costs 40 crafting metals and you can keep doing this all of the way till it's fully upgraded. So if you got some crafting metals laying around, you should use this to upgrade your armor so that when you get into fights late game, you're fully upgraded, because you're not always going to be able to get off enough damage to be able to fully upgrade it. And this system really does kind of help patch up those areas where you're not getting enough damage. Another thing to note is that when you put your armor in, it actually disappears from you and you're going to be pretty vulnerable at this point. And the crafting bench basically lifts up this massive beam into the air, so you're going to want to be very vigilant. Now another thing is these material bins give you materials, but everyone on your team can collect these. It doesn't matter how recently someone has collected it either, every single player gets to collect it individually. Another thing to think about is if you're rotating into the ring and you need ammo or an armor upgrade or meds or something, look at the map, you can see what's inside the weekly and daily rotations, and you can also look to see where the nearest crafting bench is so that you're able to craft some stuff, and you can kind of think about rotations based off of that. For example, if you need ammo but you don't have enough materials, you could go through an area that has materials and a replicator to build the ammo. Now here's the thing you shouldn't do. When you press this button to lift up this wall, there's this part that you can stand on that will just go vertical and you will fall off this area. If you find yourself on this area, you can climb up onto this main platform before it fully builds up. So yeah, you probably want to learn about that quickly. In Apex Legends, armor swaps are really great because it allows you to quickly switch to a new armor and fight other players so you don't have to heal up. However, I'd say in this season, try not to switch your armor as much, because when you switch your armor, the Evo progress is then lost basically, because you're going to be doing damage on new armor. So really you want to try and stick with the same armor as much as possible so all of that damage goes to one armor and levels it up quicker, because leveling up requires more damage this season. Now that each armor has essentially dropped 25 points in health, the weapons that do high damage per shot are really valuable in this patch, because you're able to take people down in potentially 1 or 2 shots. So consider using the triple take, the hemlock, the prowler, the snipers, the mastiff, and you're really going to do well, especially early game when people haven't leveled up their armor as much. Speaking of low level armor, because you have less health, it's going to be easier for you to be shot out in the open and actually die from it. So you need to be more careful about movement. Always think about how to stay in cover as much as possible so that if you do get shot, you're not going to get shot and then knocked out in the middle of nowhere. Once again, this lower health means quicker time to kill, so it's harder to 1v3 people. You're going to need to stick with your teammates as much as possible now so that you're not caught off guard, at least until you've leveled up your armor enough to really stand out on your own. Now the Vault is an SMG, but it's actually one of the most effective long range weapons, because as an energy weapon it has a very fast bullet travel time. Stick it 2 times on this thing and you can literally use it like an AR, perhaps even more effectively than a flatline and an R301. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think this footage here shows its potential. Another thing to realize is, of course, each armor level has gone down 25 health, and this can take a bit of time to kind of remember, and you need to consciously think about this. When you shoot a player with purple armor, they don't have 200 health anymore, they have 175. So purple is like the old blue, red is like the old purple, blue is the old white, and white is like the old Evo armor. So you're really gonna have to learn about that now so that, you know, you don't trick yourself into thinking someone has more health than they actually do. This next tip is just use the Mozambique. The Mozambique with hammer point is crazy now because, once again, less shields for the majority of the game across all players means you're going to get to pure health quicker, and that's where the hammer point comes in strong, and that one extra bullet's really going to go far. Not only that, but the Mozambique's actually quite effective at long range, more so than another shotgun just because of how the spread works, so don't be afraid to sort of use this like a short range pistol. Another thing is you can climb up areas with the ramp up wall, allowing you to get places you wouldn't otherwise. For example, check this spot here, I accidentally fell down, but it was no problem, I could just put down a wall and then climb on the wall and climb up over onto the edge, so I didn't have to get a portal or go into the lava and take damage.
I'm coming to get you, okay?
No. We're doing it my way or the highway.
Yeah, the highway is the portal.
Chat, we really should put a disclaimer at the start of every stream, but we are not a good example of how to play ranked.
I did it! If your amp shield gets broken as rampart and you're taking shots at long distance, place down a new shield behind the old one. It will build safely because players won't be able to shoot that shield that's building because it will be behind cover. They have to shoot through and break that cover first. Snipers are very strong now, so consider using them more, especially as poking weapons to build up your armor. The triple take is incredible, it fires faster, has a bigger mag size, and the charge rifle is just absolutely disgusting for getting nice pokes long range, and the new ammo changes make it easier to use snipers as well. The lower health also makes it easier to knock and eliminate players long range, so don't be afraid to take long range fights that you usually wouldn't. In the past, you'd deal damage and you just wouldn't be able to deal enough damage to actually knock somebody, but now it doesn't matter so much. You can actually do that, and remember, dealing damage is really important now. So yeah, any damage you can do, no matter what difference, is going to benefit you. Many new weapons have gotten new recoil patterns, including the Spitfire, Devotion, Havoc, and Flatline, so spend some time learning them in the firing range. It's going to benefit you, especially if you mained one of these weapons before and you're suddenly finding it hard to use. It may be just because you subconsciously learned the old recoil pattern and it's changed a little bit now. Speaking of recoil, if you find the Volt difficult to use, it's probably because you're pulling down too much. The recoil is incredibly easy to control on this weapon. In fact, so easy that you probably need to not pull down for recoil as much as you think. Check it out in the firing range and you'll see what I mean. As Rampart, you can pick up Sheila for 50% extra ult charge, but only if you haven't fired it already. You can also do the same with Wolves, and you'll get one more added to your cooldowns, but only if it hasn't been damaged. The new Hemlock buff makes it fire faster in burst, and also has less burst recoil. Even at long range, the burst is going to be better now. It is disgusting, that weapon right now, so really give it a try. If you use Loba, don't crouch behind Rampart walls, your head will still stick out. You can keep her head down by moving forward into the wall and strafing back and forth. It's some kind of bug that's been going on with Loba since release, and they haven't fixed it yet, so keep an eye out for this one. If you're going for high damage games, you can overcharge your shots behind cover to deal more damage than actually possible. For example, a Kraber headshot can deal over 500 damage if you hit someone in the head, and even though you're only effectively doing 100 to 200 damage, you get an extra 500 damage to your damage counter, which is incredible. I've already had tons of 3k games of Rampart because of this, so go give it a try, use the Rampart walls more, and you'll see what I mean. This area actually has a button that can be pressed to open it on either side, and when you do that, it'll open up this area in the middle, bring up loot. There's lots of armor there usually. Now it's called the honey pot because usually it gets people's attention, they go into the middle, and you're very vulnerable. So you probably want to be quick if you go down this area or have friends to back you up. Finally, Sheila is a very good thing to use against the Prowlers in Bloodhound's Trials. You're going to shred through them. Put down shields as well, and they have to break through the shields, stopping them from potentially doing damage to you. So thank you everyone for watching this video. If you have any of your own tips, make sure to leave them down in the comments, and also please leave your feedback below about what you think about Season 6 and what content do you like on my channel. Do you like tips? Do you like gameplay? Do you like lore? Do you want to see anything other than Apex? I'm curious. Please leave your feedback, it really does mean a lot. I'll see you all in the comments. Cheerio! Did you know I stream almost every day from 7 PM UK time or 11 AM Pacific Standard Time? You can catch me live right here on YouTube, so make sure you have notifications turned on. I also have a new members program. Become a member for $2.99 a month, get your comments highlighted in videos, get a cool badge in live stream chat, get access to these cute emotes, and also gain access to my members tips videos, where you can ask me for any tips and I'll be making new videos weekly to help you improve your own game. Click the join button or click the link in the video description to get involved.